In this video, we're going to find out which of these series converges. All of the series go from n equals 0 to infinity. So A is n squared all over n cubed plus 1, B is n squared over n squared plus 1, C is 1 over n squared plus 1, and D is 1 over n plus 1. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a video. Okay, so for the first one, this looks kind of complicated. So there's a rule that if the integral of the same bounds converges in terms of x, then the sum from the same bounds in terms of n converges. So let's look at the integral from 0 to infinity. We'll replace n with x because n is discrete and x is a real value. So x squared all over x cubed plus 1. And as we said, if this converges, then the sum converges. If this diverges, the sum diverges. It's the integral test. Okay, so how do we do this? So we're going to multiply the top by 3. Now, you can't multiply by 3 and do nothing. You have to divide by 3 to get the same result. So now if we do a simple u sub, so let u equal x cubed plus 1, du will be 3x squared multiplied by dx. And so this will be our du, and this will be our u. So this will be 1/3 the integral of du over u. So what are the endpoints? So when x equals 0, u is 0 cubed plus 1, which is 1. And when x is infinity, infinity cubed is infinity plus 1 is infinity. Okay. But this is the definition of ln of something. So ln of x is defined as the integral from 1 to x of 1 over t dt. Now you can also do 1 over u du because t is a dummy variable. So this would just be 1/3 ln of infinity. Now you can't really plug in infinity, so just use the arrow. And ln of infinity goes to infinity. So this diverges. So this sum does not converge. So we can cross this out. Okay, let's move on to B. So we have the sum from n equals 0 to infinity of n squared all over n squared plus 1. To the top, we can add 1 and then subtract 1. This will leave us with the sum from n equals 0 to infinity. So, put this in parentheses. So this all over n squared plus 1 is the same thing. So this will just be parentheses 1 minus 1 over n squared plus 1. Okay, so how do we do this? So let's move over to C, because C is the same thing. It's 1 over n squared plus 1, but it has a 1. It's a different 1 over it. So let's see if this converges. If this converges, then we're done, but we'll still look at the rest of the question. So that definitely means that B diverges, because you would split this up, and then the sum from 1, if it's 1 from n equals 0 to infinity, it's just infinity minus the same sum for C, and that would be infinity. Okay, so let's do the integral test again. So we have the integral from 0 to infinity of 1 over n squared plus, I'll keep this in, 1 over x squared plus 1 dx. Yeah, we're not going to integrate over n. But this is the inverse tangent of x from 0 to infinity. Inverse tangent of 0 is 0, because tangent of 0 is sine 0 over cosine 0, which is 0 on the top. So this will be inverse tangent of infinity, which is defined as pi over 2. Okay, good. So this means this converges, because the integral converges. So that means the correct choice will be C. But let's just keep going, because we'll just look at the rest of the things. Okay, so this converges by itself, which means if we have 1 minus it, we can just split this up. So this will be the sum as n goes from 0 to infinity of 1 minus the sum from n equals 0 to infinity of 1 over n squared plus 1. This converges. Okay, what is this? So to do this over 1, you would have to do the upper endpoint minus the lower endpoint plus 1, but infinity plus 1 is infinity. So this is infinity, so it diverges. Okay, so let's look at D, because it's the last one. C converges. D is the sum from n equals 0 to infinity of 1 over n plus 1. This is the harmonic series. So this is 1 plus 1/2 plus 1/3 plus 1/4 plus 1/5 plus 1/6. I did this in the past, but I'll just show it again. 1/7, 1/8, plus dot dot dot. Okay. So this will be 1 plus 1/2. Okay, actually let's not equal to. Okay. This is greater than. Okay, so 1/3 is greater than 1/4. Okay, so we can write this as 1/4 plus 1/4. 1/5, 1/6, 1/7, and 1/8, or 1/5, 1/6, and 1/7 are bigger than 1/8, so we'll just write that. And why? Because 1/5 is 0.2, 1/8 is 0.125. Okay, so we have plus 1/8, and so on. We can group these together. So this will be equal to 1 plus 1/2, 1/4 plus 1/4 is 1/2, 1/8 plus itself 4 times is 4 times 1/8, which is 1/2. You can basically do this forever. This means it's greater than infinity. So this means that this diverges. And obviously only one of these, because the question asks for which series. So this doesn't work and this doesn't work, and C is the only answer, and that is the end of the video. Hope you liked it, and thanks for watching.